Hey guys, how are you? What's going on? Erica, Journal Girl, CC, Miss HLS. It's a Virgo. How's it going? It's a Virgo. It's a Virgo too. I'm a Virgo. It's a Virgo. Hey guys. Okay, so earlier I was live on Real Talk Bougie, and you guys asked about this, and I guess low key a few people have been asking me to talk about this. And of course, I heard about it, but I really wasn't going in depth on it. But I guess it's almost like unavoidable now because people really want to, this gentleman here in the yellow, Cesar Pina, he got arrested. And so now it's really kind of like a legit scam investigation. Or it's been a scam investigation, and there was an arrest. So, I did have to kind of, get into some of what's been going on. But yesterday, let me see. Should I share this one first? We're not going to get into the whole thing. We can talk about more about this tomorrow. I'm just going to get into some videos tonight because I thought that would be like a good way to talk about this. But I think oftentimes people, you can potentially find yourself in a situation where somebody might ask you to want to invest some of your hard-earned money into something, and could put you into a position where you have to make a decision. And what Caesar is being accused of is akin to like a Ponzi scheme, but basically just flat out scamming folk in and around northern New Jersey, really like my neck of the woods of New Jersey where I grew up. And DJ Envy seems to be a willing participant co-signer, but he says he was not a agent of his. He said he wasn't really in business with him. He just kind of knows him, even though they were doing seminars and stuff together. So I lined up a couple of things for us to listen to, do a little bit, and then maybe take a little bit of a deeper dive, and just kind of get into it a little, because I mean, obviously, this is becoming a thing. I think DJ Envy is worried. Clearly, he's got does he have 6 kids or 7 kids? He's got a large family and a wife, and I don't think he wants to be arrested. I don't think he wants any time. I don't think he really wants anything to do with this. Listening to him talk, I almost feel like he's I don't know if he knew what he was getting himself all the way into, even though the funny thing is that he was warned. That's kind of a reoccurring theme that we hear from a lot of people, right? Is that they may have been warned and they advance anyway. Right, the red lipstick hustler, Lily, right, Lily? We've heard that a lot, in our travels on these YouTube streets, where people have been low key or high key warned, but they decided to advance anyway. But anyway, so this is a press release that I'm showing behind DJ Envy and Cesar Pena. New Jersey real estate investor and influencer was arrested today. You might not be able to read this, but I'll drop the link. I'll drop the link and then you guys can read this for yourself. New Jersey real estate investor and influencer was arrested today. This was on the 18th for committing a multi-million dollar Ponzi like investment fraud scheme. U.S. Attorney Philip Salinger reported. Cesar Umberto Pena, 45, of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, was charged by complaint with one count of wire fraud. He appeared before the U.S. Magistrate Judge Edward Keel in Newark Federal Court and was released on $1 million secure bond with electric monitoring. As alleged in the complaint, Pena exploited celebrity status and social media to develop a devoted following of potential victims, promising returns that were too good to be true. Pena allegedly defrauded dozens of people of millions of dollars. Our office is committed to protecting the public from these schemes and prosecuting those who lie to investors for their own personal gain. The investment fraud is simply a crime of greed. U.S. Postal Inspector in charge, Christopher A. Nielsen of the U.S. Postal Inspection Service Philadelphia Division, said in this case, Cesar Pena allegedly solicited dozens of individuals to provide him with millions of dollars to purchase and invest in residential properties. However, instead of sharing the profits, he defrauded the investors in a Ponzi scheme. Postal Inspector will continue to work with our law enforcement partners to combat financial fraud and protect the American people. Plain and simple, um, the defendant ran a fraudulent scheme. They falsely presented the nature of the business and lied about potential investment returns to bilk unsuspecting victims out of millions. Tammy Tomlins, U.S. agent in charge of the IRS criminal investigation, Newark field office, said today's arrest highlights IRS criminal investigations and our law enforcement partners' commitment to investigate and prosecute unlawful behavior. People kind of need to know right now, like now is not the time to be playing around out here. So, well, let's get into it. I'll read more of this tomorrow because honestly, I don't even think I have the brain power to read anything else at this moment. So I feel like I did good reading that. So let's get into this, and we're just gonna go. I've got a couple of things lined up, and but I'm sure you guys heard of this was going on. So let's get into it. Um, hopefully I've got this from the start. Let's see.
There's been a lot going on, Charlamagne.
Like what?
Don't say like what, man. There's been a million and one accusations.
Oh my God, no.
I'm being serious. So let me explain some things. I'm not, my attorneys don't want me to speak, but I think there's things that I need to clear up a little bit.
I think you should listen to your attorneys. Why don't light-skinned people like to listen? Like, if your attorney told you don't say nothing, why are you talking?
So this is the funny thing. So he starts off. I think this is heavy on his heart. I don't know. I mean, does DJ Envy seem like a scammer to you guys? I don't really know. I mean, I don't know enough to say he's like cold. I mean, he's out here too much to be a scammer, but you know what I'm saying? We've seen plenty of scammers recently. There's plenty of scammers running around here. So I don't know. I'm sure most, I don't know. He says he's not. He says he was in business with his friend and his friend owes him money too. So I don't know. Let's keep listening.
Listen, so Cesar and myself did seminars. Now, the reason I did these seminars is because I wanted to uplift my community. I wanted to teach my community about real estate, things that I didn't know when I was first buying my first home. I wanted to teach our community about investing in generational wealth.
The comment section is a mess.
So I did these seminars and brought industry professionals to all these seminars, whether it was real estate agents from different markets, contractors, conventional lenders, hard money lenders. I even brought auction.com to actually show people how to purchase houses online. That's what I wanted to do for my people. Now, Cesar, if he took money, I wasn't privy to it, nor did I even know. But I do understand how people feel if they did give him money, because I gave him a lot of money.
Jesus.
That I didn't see a dollar of return. But for anybody to say I was involved.
But in another video, he's going to say he invested with Cesar and he made a lot of money. So it's like, which one was it? You invested with him and you made a lot of money, or you gave him a lot of money and you never saw anything? Like, which one is it?
That's totally not true. I would never. I've been on this radio close to 30 years, and never in my 30 years time did I do nothing but try to uplift people and show people a different way through the business mind. And I would never take a dollar from somebody.
I could be wrong, but I didn't see nobody accusing you of taking money. I just saw them say that they met Cesar because they heard you talking about Cesar.
Nah, they basically said I was privy to it, and that wasn't true. Not at all.
I from what I read,
it's like, why are you trying to engage Charlamagne in this conversation? I would be like, look, I can't go down with your ship. Like, why are you having me debate this with you? Because I really don't want to talk about it. Like, this is your shit.
Read in actual court papers, I didn't see that. They said that all these people are saying that they met Cesar because of you.
Right, and they're
I
saying
don't see
that
nobody accusing you of taking no money.
to the point where if you read the court documents, Cesar wrote an affidavit that says DJ Envy, Rashawn Casey, had no knowledge of me investing people's money.
I saw that too.
He wasn't there. He wasn't part of those conversations. He wasn't even nowhere in those meetings. And those are documents that's out there. So if we're going to talk about truth, let's talk about the truth. And those are the documents out there. And
well,
I know
you can't talk about the truth yet because your lawyers don't want you talking at all. So the smart thing to do is, I understand you want to say something to the listeners, and I'm sure the listeners appreciate it. But man, just wait until all the dust settles. And when all the dust settles, then we can get on this radio and have a real conversation. Until then, I don't think you should be saying any of this. But that's just me. Look at you. You can't even help yourself. What else you want to say now?
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right.
But
I mean, he's being a friend. He's telling him, don't do it.
When the dust settles,
Okay.
you can have a real conversation with the
but
audience.
it's difficult because the stuff that you're hearing is like, that's totally not true. Like, it's not true. Like,
Well, that should be
that's fake news. Like,
but that
those are
should be
fake
enough.
stories.
That should be enough. You know what the truth is. If you know what the truth is, don't worry about it, because the truth don't need no defense. The truth don't need no defense, just witnesses. That's
Right.
it.
All right. Well, hopefully.
And by the way, you look very suspicious because you don't have your just for men in right now. So it's like the grades are coming in right here in the back, and you need a little haircut, so it just makes you look like, oh.
I just want to say this on closing.
Oh,
I've
he's
never
lying.
stole anything from anybody, and I'll just leave it at that.
Why would you come to work, even though the feds did go to the iHeartRadio office? I guess they went over to their office and seized some computers and stuff like that, which obviously isn't a good thing to happen at work. I don't understand why he felt the need to bring this up at the office. Do you see the memes that people do? I don't understand why he felt the need that he needed to bring this up at the office, especially when the lawyers told him not to talk, but he waits till he goes on air on his job that I'm thinking he doesn't have anything to do with his personal real estate dealings with or without this dude Cesar. Why he would do that? I mean, I think it's just absolutely ridiculous.
What?
You know what rhymes with what?
What?
Butt. And from what I was told, you used to steal a lot of butt back in the day.
I can't. I'm trying to be serious here, and you playing around.
Good old big old queen from Queens.
There's been a lot going on, Charlamagne.
Okay, let's go to the next video. This I thought was really interesting because this was an interview. So this guy, is his name Mano or Mano? It's Mano, and he is on Angela Yee's show. You guys can tell I'm tired now. But I said I was coming, so I'm here. This guy is on Angela Yee's show, and I guess he's a co-host on this show. He had a podcast, or has a podcast called Kitchen Talk. I guess it's on Fox Soul, but it's also on YouTube. So I've seen part of this going around, but I got more of it so we can actually hear like the full context. So I listened up until this part. This is right when DJ Envy starts talking about how he got into real estate. So let's listen to some of this.
And I hear Charlamagne talk about that a lot too, about mental health though. That's a good thing. But I want to switch gears a little bit though, man. Like it's a couple things that I'm trying to understand that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And you pulled me in the other day and you started talking to me about this real estate thing.
Correct.
You know, and all of us bought things and we, you know, made enough money. And I was always under the impression that, you know, when it came to like doing so much with real estate that you just had to have so much money that you could just go buy everything. And like I told you the other day, like information is power. Like I missed so many opportunities just because I didn't have the information.
Correct.
What made you start getting into this whole real estate thing?
Well, you know, in the music industry, you see somebody that got a hit
Right.
record, and then you see him 3 years later and they dead broke,
That's a fact.
or they owe taxes, or
That's
they
right.
or they fucked up, their cars is getting repoed. You know, that's because in the music industry there is no 401k.
Mm-mm.
There is no retirement plan. You got to create it yourself, and most of us don't know how to create it. I mean, most of us come from a place where we don't know. You know, our parents, if we have a 2-parent family, a two-parent household. They work for 30, 40 years of their life, and then they retire. But in the music industry, they kind of give you that money up front, so you don't know what to do with it. So I was like, all right, let me mess with real estate. You know what I mean? If you look at the most richest people in the world, it usually comes from oil money, real estate, or it gets handed down, generational. So I was like, all right, well, let me fuck with real estate. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to figure it out. I'm buying a house, 11% interest. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm living in the house, fixing it up, and I don't know what I'm doing. And the reason I even brought you to the project that I'm working on now is because I wanted you to see.
That's right.
People talk about it all day long. My man does real estate. My man does credit. My man.
Right. Yes, a lot of
Fuck you and your man. He's probably lying. But when it comes to it, I wanted to show you what I was working on and show you how I did it. So I started getting into real estate, right? I started doing it in Jersey, smallly, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I used to buy a house, live in it, fix it up, sell it, and then move to another house. So every year I'm moving, right? Driving my wife crazy.
Is that wrong to do?
Yeah, it is. It is. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's not how you're supposed to do it. But that's what I was doing because that's all I knew.
Right.
So Angela Yee had a boyfriend in Detroit. Still has a boyfriend in Detroit.
Oh, okay, Angela. Your boyfriend in Detroit.
Oh, my bad.
Tell her business. Tell her business.
It's all good. It's all good. But you know what she did was she told me about all these properties in Detroit for cheap. So I went down there, and instead of buying Gucci, Louis, Dior, Chanel, instead of buying jewelry and cars, I just took some money and I said, I'm gonna buy these properties. Properties were $15,000. So I bought 3 of them, and I didn't know what to do. I just sat on them, cut the grass because the grass grows, and paid the taxes. It just so happened Dan Gilbert, who owns the Cleveland Cavaliers, is from Detroit. He also owns Quicket Loans. He started building up Detroit downtown area. So now those properties that I had that I paid $15,000 are worth like $250 picked up, or $250 cleaned up.
A piece.
I didn't clean them up. I sold them for like $140, $150 each. I only paid $15,000. So that's got me in the real estate bugs. I'm like, oh shit, this is a huge flip. Here I'm making over $100,000, $300,000, and I ain't do nothing. I'm like, this is great. So I started doing that. Then I met Cesar.
Okay, so up until that point, I don't think that there was anything wrong with what he was doing. He was doing his own thing. He was buying and basically flipping his own properties. He didn't have anybody involved. He had his own money, and he would buy and sit on something or whatever else he would do. But in this case, he was buying property and just sitting on it, which is what a lot, people do that. So, okay, nothing, no red flags there. Okay.
Cesar is flipping NJ is my partner in New Jersey. He owns over 1,600 units.
So this interview is from like 2 years ago, just in case, because people will ask. This interview is October 20. This is from October 2nd, 2021. Okay. So let's keep this in mind. This is 2 years ago. So let's listen to the dialogue so I'm playing this in a specific order. Why? Number one, we just heard him talk to his work partner, Charlamagne, about what's going on, and it's heavy on his heart. Shit's going bad, yada, 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 da, 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 right? Now he's doing an interview with an industry colleague, and he's talking about how he got into real estate and how he got into business or became partners, quote unquote. Today he says he's not partners, but 2 years ago he was partners. He was, so to speak, with this dude right here. Okay. So we're all caught up. And then next after that, we're going to watch the interview, or kind of the live stream where Envy is talking to Tony the Closer. Okay, so let's get through some of this, probably about maybe, I guess, up to about here or so, and then we're gonna flip to something else. And I think if you hadn't heard about this, you should kind of have a good idea of what's going on.
Jersey and all throughout the country.
Cesar was in prison before.
Cesar was in prison. Cesar was locked up, and he learned how to do real estate in prison.
Wow.
He learned how to do the real estate.
We got to bring Cesar up here one day.
Yeah, he'd love to do it.
And shout out to my guy, the credit dude, man.
Yeah. So with Cesar, he taught me how to do it the right way. He taught me you know, why he was like, his first thing is, why are you using your money? That's what you mean. He said,
I know Envy's going to really regret that he had this conversation.
you don't use your money, you use other people's money to get these deals. And started teaching me the game of how to do it without using minimal money.
And how do you? Because that's where the confusion comes at. You know, when you say not using your own money to buy a house, so what are actually you using?
Okay, so I'll break it down. So let's say let's say you're looking at a house, right? Let's say you on auction.com or hubzoo.com, right? Those are two places where I go to look for homes, right? So auction.com or hubzoo, hubzu.com. You look on there for homes, right? Type in a zip code and wherever you're looking, right? So let's say you find a house in New Jersey. Let's say Patterson, New Jersey. Let's say the house on auction.com is going for 200,000, right? It's worth 500,000 fixed up. So the house is 200,000. It needs $100,000 worth of work, but it's worth 500. So that means after you fix it up, you spent $300,000. So that means there's $200,000 worth of equity in it, right? So you can go to a conventional loan and get it, or you can go to a hard money lender. A hard money lender doesn't care about your credit score. They don't care about what you're doing. They care about the deal. That type of deal they're willing to do because they know even if you fuck it up,
they still have 200.
There's so much equity in the shit that they'll get their money back. So what we do and what he taught me how to do, he said, okay, so if you do the deal the first time, you don't have no skin in the game. Meaning the hard money, he don't know who you are.
He don't know you are.
You do a deal or two, you ain't got to put down as much. So if he don't know you, you got to put down 20%. But if he do know you, you might not have to put down nothing because they know who you are. So let's say you put down 10% because he halfway.
So now that's 10% of the 500,000.
10% of the
200,000. I mean, yeah.
Right. So that's $20,000.
Right.
Right. $20,000. You got to come up. Tell you and your family, everybody $5,000. You buy this $20,000. You buy this crib, $200,000. The hard money lender is going to pay for the repairs. He's going to pay for that in full.
For the work
in full. So when you go, you tell them that, hey, the repairs are not 100,000. You tell them the repairs are 140,000. Right? You say, well, why? So why? Well, okay, I'm gonna tell you why. So you buy the property for 200,000, right? You got to put down 20%, so you owe 180. So let's say your mortgage is $3,000 a month until you fix that property up. Remember, I told you you asked for an additional 40,000. You use that additional 40,000 to pay your hard money lender back his own money. So now no money's coming out, and no extra money's coming out your pocket. You'd use that $100,000, you fix that house up, you flip it, or you
See, like he's going into a lot of detail that I think he's going to really regret. he's talking to homie like they're in the kitchen. Okay. He's talking like they're having some beers in front of the house. He's talking too much. Okay. I'm just saying.
refinance it. You refinance it, you pull the money out of it, or you sell it. You sell it for $500,000. You give the hard money lender back his $340 because you borrowed $340. You walk away with $160. You got $160,000 cash.
Well, the point is, Dr. A, is that this interview, he did this 2 years ago. So meanwhile, today, he says that he barely knows. He didn't say he barely knows this guy, but he says he's not in business with this guy. He's not doing anything with him. That's the point. But this interview 2 years ago, he's telling this gentleman Mano that he not only does business with this guy, he does seminars with this person. This person also, his buddy right here, taught him the game. So he's going to really regret. I think that this is definitely going to come up because he's going into a lot of details that he probably shouldn't have.
You could do whatever you want with that $160,000. You could buy 3 more properties. You could buy 4 more properties. You could buy 2 more properties. Or you can go. If you're into drugs, you could buy a weed farm.
Monopoly.
And you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. The difference in what we do is if it's 2 units or less, we flip it. If it's 3 units or more, we keep it. 3 units or more.
When you mean you flip it or keep it?
So 3 units or more is a 3-family house. A lot of people out there in certain areas, they don't have multi-units house.
So really and truly, like for the fact that he's saying he's not in business with him, he's okay, 2 units or less, we flip it, 3 units or more, we keep it. Like he's really I mean, and this was 2 years ago, but this scam for some people has been going on for a minute. So we're going to hear that in the next video where I think that this video is coming back to haunt him.
3-family house, right? So that means there's a 1 family, 2 family, 3 family.
Right.
So a 1 family, 3 bedroom, 2 family, 3 bedroom, 3 family, 3 bedroom. You
That's
keep that.
money.
Why do you keep it? Because if your rent is $3,000 a month in New Jersey, the rent might be $2,500. So 25, 25, 25, right? That's $7,500. I just told you your rent was $3,000, $3,500. So what do you make? You make 4,000. So that's 4,000 profit a month that you keep.
Mm-hmm.
And that house is yours. In 10 years, you got so much equity in that house and you continually making money a month. Every year, what happens? You got to pay more money. Your rent goes up. But now I die. My kids get that 4,000 a month.
That's right.
My kids die. My grandkids get that 4,000 a month. That's generational wealth. That money never ends. Do it on a bigger scale. I'll tell you, we bought a school in New Jersey. We bought a school in Patterson, right? We turned in the school into 70 units. That's 70 units. That school will be bringing us between $68,000 and $74,000 a month profit.
He's talking way too much. I mean, it's cool that he's sharing this information, but
right? I'll have that for the rest of my life. I don't have to work. I don't have to change a toilet. I don't have to change a light bulb. I don't have to worry about a leak. I don't have to clean a rent. I don't have to do nothing. I pay a property manager to take care of this property. I sit back between the 1st and the 5th of the month. What happens? He brings me a check or he brings me cash.
Well, I'm sitting on the couch.
Right? Until I pass. And then what happens? Then his son will probably be property manager. And then he'll give it to my daughter. And then my daughter will get that $70,000 until she passes. And then she'll pass it on to her kids.
That's right.
And we continue on and continue on and continue on and continue on. And that's what I've been trying to teach people. When I first got into real estate, I called 3 people. I called Clue. I called Fabulous. I called Joe Budden. Right? My Desert Storm family. And I said, hey, guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail.
This is the part of the interview that has come back to bite him. This has been on replay all day, all over online. Is that excerpt of the interview that he called out to 3 friends, Joe Budden, DJ Clue, and Fabulous. And Joe Budden said it was a Ponzi scheme. Fabulous said, let me think about it. And DJ Clue was like, yeah, I'm not interested. So
that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail. Fab was like, I'll call you back. And Clue was like, nah, it's not for me. But I tried to teach them how to do it because I wanted my brothers to eat.
So this is a time when nobody knew you for this.
No.
You, DJ Envy.
And this is when real estate was
the people's
cheap.
champ.
Correct. People's choice.
People's choice. Something like a rapper.
Something like a rapper.
Nobody know you for flipping houses.
No.
And all that. So this is after you met Cesar. And then you went to your guys.
Yep.
And what happened? Nobody wanted to.
Nah, nobody wanted to believe. Nobody believed in me. I was like, hell no, get the fuck out of here. No, that's not happening.
You know what it is with us? It's like hard for us to sometimes see things where we gotta give our money up. We from a business where everybody give us money.
But I understand that because I was the same way. But what I told them is, I don't want your money. I want to show you how to do it.
Right. But even taking out our money and putting it into something.
I know.
And we need to see it for
right.
ourselves.
Right. It's like, what? Especially when we don't understand.
Correct.
It goes back to what I was talking about, information. Like, we don't understand. You mean, Envy, I'm supposed to go, you telling me I'm supposed to take the money that I'm making over here and put it into this, and then what? And I gotta wait, especially when you used to coming fast. I gotta wait. We gotta fix the house up, and this is taking months, man.
But that's why before we did kitchen talk, I said I want you to come to the
That's
crib.
right.
That now I took Mano to a crib, right? One of my cribs. $12.4 million is what the person paid for it, right? I paid 5.5 for it.
Mm-hmm.
is worth $10 million right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I have $4 million, $4.5 million in equity.
Equity.
That's mine.
Mm-hmm.
I could take that 4.5 and just retire on it if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? But that came from me doing these deals. And ask man, in the house, 18,000 square feet.
Yeah, it took us 45 minutes to get through the whole house. No lie.
Indoor basketball court, outdoor. It was like
No
the Ray,
lie.
it was like the Ray J song. Indoor basketball court,
Yeah.
outdoor basketball court, indoor pool, out. Like it's
Yeah.
that type of crib. But I wanted to show him because if I tell him, you'd be like, yeah, all right. But if I show him,
Show me.
Right.
you see a different part of it. So that's what I try to do. I try to help people.
Would you recommend starting off small?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the thing. I won't help nobody unless they want to get their hands dirty. Not just give me the money and go. No, I want you to go in that house and see.
Yeah, you got to see.
Like,
you got to be ready to work.
And there's so many people that I've helped get into their properties and help them with credit and help with financing and help them with financing. And I don't want nothing. I just want to, and this is true shit. And I just want to see my people do well. You know
That's a
people I
fact.
help. Like
That's
I
a
just want to
fact.
see. So I'm happy when I see my brother go in a crib or I see my sister get a crib. Like it makes me happy because nobody taught us. So we got to stand together as a community and help each other. Like I don't want all the knowledge, and when I learn, I'm trying to help people.
Mm-hmm.
So if the house, like you said, that the person that bought the house, it was 12 million, but they didn't pay the whole house off though.
No,
Right. So now you bought it for 5 million,
Mhm.
right? And then but it's worth 10 million, right? But it's not paid off. So what happens is that 4 million in equity, if you sell it, do you get the 4 million in
What you mean? That's my money.
Yeah, the
Once-
person
once
has
I-
even
to
though if
pay
it's not
the,
paid off?
No, that's their problem.
Yeah, the
Right.
person has to pay.
No,
the
I'm talking about with the bank.
No, with the bank, I bought the house for five.
For five, right?
So if I sell it for 10, whatever I owe the bank, let's say I owe the bank, let's say I put nothing down. I
Right.
pay the bank. Like, you give me 10 for the crib.
right,
I pay off the 5.
right.
I have 4 or 5 left. That's mine. Do whatever I want with it. I ain't got to buy another crib. I can live in my mama's house and just keep the 4 or 5 under the mattress. It don't matter.
It's like a car,
Understood.
Mhm.
I guess.
Understood. Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about. And then you say cars.
No, I said it's like.
No, I'm glad you say cars
Mhm.
because you told me a story the other day.
Yeah, I flip cars too.
No,
Yeah,
but you
absolutely.
told me you didn't have more cars.
Right, yeah, I have 15 cars and now I have
But you told me you didn't have no more cars, and you can pull up on me in a Ferrari, bro.
I had no
Like, why
more,
would you do that?
I had no more trucks.
Now you said that you playing word games.
Okay,
E. Come
I'm
on, you
gonna tell
said
you.
You looking? To
I
change
don't
your
have
ready?
no more cars.
Or you looking to add?
No, he said I don't have no more cars.
I'm gonna tell him what happened. All right.
All right,
So
tell
this
me
this
what
this is the thing with me. I'm in a place with my life where everything has to make sense, right? And nothing means anything to me but my family.
Right.
So
Okay. I'll have all the links in the description box to these videos if you want to watch it. Did he just get busted in a lie? So look, people need to stop talking so much. I mean, some people just feel free to say whatever. I don't know who this man is he's talking to, but Jesus, take the wheel. So it seems like Mano right here in the middle didn't understand, and I don't want to say basic finance, but the equity, like let's say purchase price, the rise in value in a property, or being able to buy something lower than the appraised value, things of that nature. So clearly Sir may not own his own home, the one in the middle, and that's not uncommon. If he lives like in New York City, there's a lot of people who, I mean, it's, look, owning an apartment in New York, Queens, certain parts of, I'm just going to say New York City in general, you may have generations of people who never owned their apartment, a condo, a house, not they just paid rent, right? Jersey is a little bit of a different story because it's more of the suburbs, but people who live, New York City is New York. It's a whole different thing. And I would imagine maybe even in Chicago, things like that, big cities where it's apartment living. New York City is a very different situation. And I'm talking about greater New York City, not just Manhattan. I'm talking about Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. There's people who have never owned. You have people who have had 3-4 generations living in the same apartment. That's a whole nother conversation and story. But in any case, that's not what we're talking about at this moment. So let's keep going to the next video. So this is a YouTuber. His name is Tony the Closer. A lot of you guys have been mentioning him to me. This guy does real estate videos, And I guess part of his content is that he identifies potential scams and he talks real estate on his channel. So he had identified DJ Envy at some point or another, and this deal that they're doing, and I guess it got on his radar. Maybe these seminars, maybe also there have been people coming online stating that they have lost money, that this dude with the turkey, not DJ Envy, owes him money, and that he's doing bad deals. And so this came to Tony the Closer's attention. So he's been doing various different stories on this. Well, let's see how this starts out. Hold on. Okay, he's basically waiting for Envy to join in because he's doing a go live with me. Um, and here comes Envy. Envy is pissed. What was the date on this? This okay,
What's
so
up?
this
What's up,
was
brother? How you doing?
is this
What's
the
going
most
on?
recent? Okay, let's
Man, I appreciate you coming in, man.
but keep in mind this guy right here, Cesar in the yellow shirt. Cesar got arrested 2 days ago by federal authorities. They are doing a deep investigation on him, and it's not looking good for him at this moment. Okay, so this is a important conversation. Let me make sure I've got I think this is the one though that is
Mad
the
respect for
problem.
you taking
Okay.
the time to come and really address some very serious allegations head on.
And this might be one of the conversations that jump things off. So let's get into it.
Obviously, you got a huge platform, man. I
came
gotta
to talk about my car show this weekend in Memphis, man.
I'll let
My
you
car
we
show
can talk
this
some
weekend
car
in
show
Memphis.
shit because but people really want to. We can bring up the
I was
car
just
show, but you know
Fucking with you. Ask what you want to ask.
people
Ask
really
what you want
want
to
to hear.
ask. Ask what you want to ask, my nigga. We good.
But tell us about the car show. Let's talk
Nah,
about
I'm
the
just-
car show, man.
I'm messing
Memphis.
with you. I'm just messing
Come
with
on,
you.
let's talk about. Let's give you the
We're doing
plug on the
car
car
show
show.
tickets are selling. We ain't got to worry about that. Let's talk about what you want to talk about. Well, first I want to say, I seen the live that you did, and I thought it was whack. First of all, and I'm gonna tell you why I thought it was whack. And you can ask me whatever you want.
All right, let's go.
And the reason I thought it was whack is because you know me. You've been to my seminars. You spoke on I think a seminar or two.
No, I never spoke.
You never spoke, but you've been to a seminar or two, and you know that we did those seminars to teach people how to do real estate and to encourage people how to do real estate. So the fact that you said it was trash was kind of weak, especially when you know my number. We just spoke many times. But I get what you're doing. But I told you earlier on the phone, because we spoke a couple of times. I said, me and you, we alike in certain ways because we like to expose the fake shit. And that's one thing I say. I don't like when people take advantage of our people. But go ahead, ask away. Let's go.
No, man. First off, man, I've never been at one of your events as a speaking capacity, but I came to the big event that you had at the Javits, which I said on the live. I said, yo, first off, you packed that bitch out. I came in and my initial impression was very impressed. I said, I've never seen people bring people together for that scale for financial literacy. I thought it was one of the most amazing things I saw from a wide-eyed lens, right? To have our people, Hispanics, Black, all in the room getting education. I'm like, yo, that's dope as fuck. I mean, I'll be transparent. Coming
it was trash yesterday.
Now, hold on. Let me finish. Now I'm gonna finish.
Go ahead.
Coming into there, I was expecting to get some information and some knowledge, and I felt like it was a lot left to be had when it came to the information piece. It wasn't filled with game that I expected to get from the. It was more like, hey, here's who I go where I find my websites at. Here's where I go to get hard money lenders. But it wasn't real estate knowledge. And here's my problem with a lot of these situations is that very big platforms like yourself, man, like so many people respect your platform. You are a celebrity. You got millions of people that listen to you on a daily basis. You got a partner of yours who is accused of some very serious allegations. Millions of dollars have been alleged to be scammed at this point, right? I want to ask you first and foremost, when we start looking at these events, which starts becoming a marketing funnel, right? People start now coming into mentorships. They come to these events to be able to get game. But then most of these events, there's that same thing that you talked about that you don't like. the upsell. See, because I pay attention, right? You had a major problem with people who had live events and then they didn't teach much information, and then they do these upsells for higher mentorships, et cetera, investment opportunities. Well, it seems as if that's what's now happened with you and Cesar, because now you're hearing the same exact thing that you said that you didn't like, which was these very outlandish prices as far as mentorships and plus $1 million plus people saying they've been defrauded out of money. So I'm looking at you and I'm saying, hey, you got a large platform. How are you any different than with the people that you said you didn't like? The other people that were frauds.
Well, for anybody that hasn't been in my seminars, the reason we created these seminars was because we wanted to teach people about real estate and get them into real estate without spending $10,000 like a lot of these seminars were doing. My whole idea was, if you have 10,000, I'd rather you use that 10,000 and try to put it into a house, a property, or whatever it may be. So, you know, my real estate thing, you say you didn't learn. I mean, hey, that's you. But the seminar, what we did was we brought people to the seminar that they would need. I brought auction.com, which is a site where people go to get properties from, and it taught them how to go on that property to buy property.
It's just amazing to me how people can kind of learn a skill like through doing and not in a traditional setting where they're actually maybe learning you know in college, okay, and they're just, and it's kind of like, I don't know, I mean, it's just amazing to me how people latch on and are so quick to part with their money just because they feel like that person is successful. And maybe they might look successful because the person they seem to have some coins, but they can't even really articulate their business. Am I, like, you guys hear me?
They didn't have to pay for that. I brought a Matt, I don't even know what was Matt.
So I guess what he's trying to say is that they're bringing people into a real estate seminar to educate them on real estate, but also to provide them a quick, easy, one-stop shop for resources. And that's it, and that's all.
Matt the lender. And what Matt did, Matt helped people get loans, talked about FHA, talked about property without paying extra. We had hard money lenders there that told people about.
It's like, we've heard him talk on 3 different occasions. This is the 3rd video we're showing. He has some very definite talking points that he speaks to.
Hard money lenders and how to get hard money lenders. We had a credit repair. That was a guy that helped people fix their credit. We had
this sounds like something we hear on a daily basis here in this mommy sector.
People who do wholesale, which I don't do wholesale. I can't explain wholesale, but we had somebody there to break down what wholesale was and how to get it done. Now, all those pieces of people explaining that, niggas usually would have to pay money for that, but it was all free. There was never an upsell. There was no, well, to learn this information, you have to do this. There was never an upsell in any of my thing. The only thing that was ever sold was some t-shirts that said landlord, trap lord. And that's anybody that's been on any of my seminar. There was no upsells. We didn't upsell shit. There was not an upsell. There was nothing that you can buy then at any of my seminars. So the upsell thing, well, there was no upsell. So there was nothing that you can buy. Now, has anybody ever gave me $1, a dime, a nickel, a quarter, $100, $1,000, $100,000, or $500,000, $1 million? Not one person. Because I'm making my business not to take money from nobody. And there's nobody on this live, and there's nobody in here that could ever say Envy, they gave Envy $1. I done helped everybody get homes. I done helped over 1,000 people get into homes. And that's celebrities, from Terrence J to Sean King to so many different people get houses, to regular people get into a house using FHA credit or regular loans. And when they say, Envy, let me give you something, I'm like, I don't need it. Because I honestly did this to help my people. And there's not nobody else that can say that they did.
But does he get a finder's fee from those companies? I mean, are they giving him a kickback for the referral? Maybe you're not having to pay for the referral, but maybe those companies are identifying that referral and then he's getting something on the back end. Because don't you have anything better to do than to just run around and try to help people? Don't you have a job and 7 kids to feed?
No, nobody.
Hey,
Now,
many investors trust your business partner based off your relationship, right?
I'm glad that you
And-
said that. So now,
And I want to ask you a question, like, as a public figure, how do you feel like your responsibility for like your actions and his actions, and how does your professional view on all that play a part?
okay,
How do you feel like what do you feel like he your part is in this?
I love that question. This is the thing. I have many different partners. I got partners that own water. I got partners when it comes to real estate. I got partners when it comes to clothing lines. I got partners when it comes to many different things. Many different things. So let me ask you a question. Me and you own a barbershop, right? The barbershop does well. On the side, you're a pedophile. And I don't know you're a pedophile. Are they gonna say DJ Envy's partner is a pedophile and I knew about it? No, nigga, I didn't know what you did on the side or what you
Yeah, but they are going to say that. They are going to say that. They will. They sure will.
Not to say that even Cesar was doing anything right or wrong, because I honestly don't know. That's between them and whatever happened. But did I say, here, take this money and give it to this person or do this with this money? I never
Oh, you thought he was is he being low key shady to Nesto? Oh, okay.
did. And nobody's ever come to me. And anybody who's ever came, if you ever came to my seminar, I tell everybody on this stage, whether it's credit repair or it's a conventional lender, do your homework, because I don't trust anybody. And I said that. And I said the reason I don't trust anybody is because, like anything in this world, somebody will treat me different because I'm a quote unquote celebrity than they'll treat somebody else. And if you've been to my seminars, I say that a million times, where the speakers get offended sometimes. But the reason I do that is because I don't trust people. I don't trust anybody. I don't. That's just me. Even with real estate, I'm not a person that just buys because I never seen. I need to touch the house. I need to feel it. I need to walk through it. I need to know things on my own. So if by you putting out DJ Envy and a picture of me and Cesar saying that y'all did that, I didn't scam nobody for no money. I didn't take no money. And like I said, the thing with me and you is where I go from different is you know me. You say you didn't have my number. My number's the same. You got my number. You can call me anytime.
Well, I actually didn't have your number, Henry, but like
and as soon as I heard, what did I do? I said my number.
But let me ask you a question, because the guy last night, he said that he gave Cesar $1 million. When he said he came to the office, you were right there to greet him. He said he felt like you were part of the entire process as far as bringing him into the, him even deciding to make this investment. He's like, I would have made $1 million investment if I didn't have DJ Envy co-signing him and telling me that, he's a good dude. And then I come to the office and he's in the exact same office as I'm walking in before we even come to an agreement on the deal. So how do you feel like you play a part in that when an investor feels like, hey, my investment decision is based off the fact that I'm watching you sit in the same office with this guy, right? This guy said he was on his deathbed. He got $1 million lawsuit from a multi-million-dollar lawsuit from almost dying. He invests his money with Cesar and he's been chasing his money.
Now you telling me because I'm in the same office with somebody doing my car show business and somebody's in another office building, another office spot doing something else that I know what he's doing in that office space. And I greet everybody that comes in the office. You know why? Because that's what my mom taught me to do, because I'm a respectful, kind person. I don't care if you're young, if you're old, if you're black, if you're white, if you're Spanish. If you walk into my office, I look everybody in the eye and I say hello. And the reason why I do that is because 9 times out of 10, I got a couple $100,000 car outside and I want to see who's coming in and out my office. Now, if you go into
DJ Envy doesn't understand how stupid he sounds right now. I'm just thinking like, okay, if your partner or business partner or cohort, whatever you want to call him, is running some sort of scam of a business in an office that you rent, just understand that when he's under investigation, you're going to be under investigation too. That's one thing. Number 2 is if you are showing up to his events or you are deciding to do events just because you want to help people, but your friend wants to potentially scam people or it intends to provide an investment opportunity for people, but is offering something that's way out of the stratosphere of what he's going to be able to satisfy the terms of that deal or contract, you're going to be lumped into that. There's just kind of no way around it, in my opinion. Now, does that mean that he's going to go to jail? No, but he's ruining his reputation. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to say just because you're a DJ, that's all you should be doing. But if you decided that you wanted to become like a real estate guru and how like you found it your life's passion to empower people and share the good news about being able to make good money investing in real estate, and it was kind of a surprise to you, the dividends that you could get from, or just the fast returns, or the, you know, the amount of returns that you could get from doing it. That's one thing. But when you partner up with someone who now has a track record of scamming people or is under investigation by the feds for scamming, someone who is also a felon, someone who is also admittedly, I believe, a former addict, like you are working with this person or you are in business contact with this person, it just doesn't make you look very good. Like, to me, it doesn't sound so. People are saying that they invested with this guy, not, I'm gonna show you this, who the person is. People are saying that they invested with Cesar because their impression was that Cesar was a business partner to DJ Envy, and you know, here they are handing out turkeys, okay? So they thought he was a good dude and they're investing with him, but they're missing money. So that's the problem. Tony the closer called out DJ Envy on a live, and DJ Envy decides to come on a live the following day, which this was a few months ago, and answer some questions to Tony the closer about the accusations that he was making about Caesar, and that he was getting lumped into these accusations, and he felt like he wanted to come set the record straight. Since this happened 2 days ago, Caesar got arrested, and he's under federal charges. If you want to know what they are, go back to the beginning. I talked about them, but if we get into this again tomorrow, I do have the complaint from the Justice Department. They have it posted on their website, the full complaint, and the details of the arrest and what the investigation, what led them into the investigation.
Another office and have a conversation with somebody and you decide to do whatever you want to do, that has nothing to do with envy. If you say, if Envy said do this because I said it's cool, that's a different story. If you see Envy's name on the contract, that's a different story. But now it seems like you're fishing for things that put me involved. Just because I'm in the office with somebody else doesn't mean that me and that person is doing anything with each other.
Well,
doesn't mean I'm co-signing anybody. Doesn't mean that at all. And now if that person,
we look at you and Caesar from a perspective that you guys are business partners. So like every time I've ever seen anything with real estate, you guys both do it together. Like
no, we all business partners.
When I see the events, anytime I see Caesar never speaks. I only hear you speak. So
no, Caesar definitely speaks.
Every time we see an ad, I see he's looking over like this, and you are actually doing the presentation. So he's not like the person that's the spokesperson. No, so I'm just like, just being real. When we look at it, like this man wouldn't have, nobody would fuck with Caesar if it wasn't for DJ Envy. Like I wouldn't know who he was if it wasn't for you. Like most of these people wouldn't, you know, when you say I'm attaching you, it's because you marketed them. Everywhere we see Flippin' NJ, there's DJ Envy. So if I'm just looking at it and I'm saying, if this is a guy that I'm investing with, I'm investing based off your likeness.
Well, see, this is the thing. I'm not anybody's babysitter. I don't tell people what to do and what not to do. Now, Caesar's a guy that got me into real estate, and he got me into real estate where I purchased a lot of homes. And because of that, he made me a lot of money where I own these houses and I have tenants. And I was excited about it. And I was excited about it because not too many people that look like me are buying property. So I told Caesar, let's teach people how to do it. Now, we taught a lot of people how to do it. We taught a lot of people how to buy homes. We taught a lot of people about FHA and things that people had no idea about. Now, that's my business with Caesar. That's my business with a lot of people. Now, if you go outside of that and want to jump in on your own, that has nothing to do with the kid. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not part of those deals. I'm not part of anything that goes on. I could be a partner with Elon Musk, and me and Elon Musk do Teslas together. Now, if Elon Musk decides he wants to do his space property, and he does some foul shit on the space property, people are like, oh, well, I invested because Envy was part of the Tesla. No, that ain't got the people need to stop being followers and be leaders. People got to do their own homework. When I give anybody money for any of my investments, some do well, some don't do well. All my investments, I do my own homework. If you come up to me right now and say, yo, Envy, I got a crib in Miami and it's worth this, I'm not doing it because you a nice guy that got a lot of followers. I would be a fucking asshole. I call my accountant and I'm like, hey, look at this deal. Does this deal make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. I'm not doing it.
So
that's how it is. That's what people
I like keeping it real, right? 100%. So how has your business dealings been with Cesar?
Some have been great, some haven't been. Some have been really good and I made a lot of money, and some have been slow. And that's why I say when people invest money, sometimes it goes like this, right? And you know this. I didn't hit with Cesar a couple of times and flip money in less than 30 days. Some of my builders, like the school, we still got, and I haven't got my money back yet. But I know that's part of the game. But I also do know there's certain things that need to happen. Like when it comes to Cesar, you know, we've had a conversation and I spoke to him and I spoke to Jen and I told him if he does, and I asked him personally, I said, do you owe people money?
Does he owe you money?
We have an investment together that we're going to sell. He does not owe me money. We partnered up on a property. We partnered up on a property.
Does he
owe
you money, DJ Envy?
It's a school. Let me tell you.
You and I talked offline, DJ Envy.
No, I'm going to tell you 100%. No, I'm going to tell you.
You can't do that, DJ Envy.
I'm going to tell you the truth. You're going to let me speak or we not?
No, but we got to if we're going to tell the truth, we got to tell the truth.
We're going to tell the truth.
Now.
We speaking the truth. Because I tell you everything. I talk to you offline.
That's what I'm saying.
I told you, me and Cesar, we bought a school. That's the only outstanding deal that we have. That school never came back, and that school is not done yet. When I spoke to Cesar today, I told him I have a problem, and he said, I'm giving you your money back. That's it. So we don't have any dealings with each other. And I even told you, because when we had that conversation, I called him last night. I'm like, do you owe anybody money? Cesar told me no. He said there was people that we invested with that did well, and there was people that we didn't invest with that it takes a little longer. And I told him, nigga, whatever you need to do, give them people back their money. That's all it is. But when it comes to it, that's what it is. And you find somebody else that will talk to you on live in a minute to talk to you about the real, because I honestly, we talked offline though. That's why I asked you the question. And it's like, we personally offline. I mean, I know you might be wanting to still not really throw your man under, but like we talked offline. And we spoke online yesterday. That's why I was kind of upset when you put out a picture of me and Cesar and said DJ's every partner owes all this money. And I'm like, damn, my nigga, we spoke last night. And I'm telling you, I would tell you. But, I get it. My name on it is a little, you get more clicks and all that.
1,000% it gets more clicks. But that's the same thing you do when you call out real estate investors and then you do a real estate event. That's called marketing, right? That was part of your marketing. Like
throwing somebody under the bus that fucks with you, which is weird, but I don't care because I really didn't take nobody's money. And I just want to tell you, the dude that you talked about that allegedly owes $1 million, I just got off the phone with him. And the first thing he said was, I did meet you when I went to the office, but we never spoke. You just said hello and kept it moving. So, I don't know why Tony would say that, you certified that deal or you made the deal comfortable. Like, nigga, we didn't even talk. If he walked past me now, I wouldn't even know who he was. I speak to anybody that comes to my office. But what I would like to do, I would like to get Cesar on there and y'all have a conversation, and then you can ask him all the questions you need to ask him.
So I asked you another question last night because you were very direct about the fact that you wanted to distance yourself from being involved in any dealings that you didn't know about with Cesar and these investments. What do you feel like you should do as far as your platform responsibility with letting the people know that have invested with Cesar based off your likeness?
Well, I tell everybody, no matter what you do when you invest, you make sure you do your homework when it comes to anything. That's what I tell everybody all the time. You make sure you do your homework. I do feel like you're saying Cesar's guilty before hearing his side of the coin, which I think is kind of crazy. I mean, anybody can say anything they want, man. I just seen today that I owe people money. I just seen all types of shit. But the thing is, I think you should have that man on here to have a conversation and give his side of the story. There's too sides of the story. Well, there's actually three sides of the story, right? His side, and then what's the truth. And I think before somebody starts saying that somebody owes somebody money or somebody doing something wrong and making an accusing and an accusation, I think you need to have him on there and clear his own name up.
Well,
I just wanted to kind of respond to that. I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think scams are prevalent everywhere. There are scams prevalent everywhere. I think that in certain groups, you know about a scam because you might be part of that community. You go into another community and you'll hear about the scams that are prevalent in their community. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's real easy to say things like that. It's just not. We didn't invent the scam, and we're not going to like eradicate the world of the scam. Scams are everywhere. Trust and believe. Just watch the news. I mean, there are people getting scammed left and right in every single different pocket of the world. Scams are at an all-time high. People are very quick to let their money leave their hand with people that they trust. And at the end of the day, I don't think that they don't just live in the Black community. I just didn't want to, I couldn't let that slide. I'm sorry. They don't just live with us because, I think people need to be smart consumers. As long as people are only investing money or buying from someone because you think you can trust them, you open yourself up to being scammed. You should buy and invest based on something sound and something that makes sense and something that you believe in, not just a person, not somebody who's got on a nice suit and smells nice and keeps his hair cut or anything like that. So to avoid being scammed, I would say you should go with facts, not feelings. Um, so yeah, let's finish this up because it's almost done.
well, I think that's fair, but I also
And I tried to
believe
call to call you today with him on the phone, and you said you were clearly busy. So
Well,
he's not.
But you know we talking about. Don't try to flip the narrative on me because that's bullshit. And then
Did I not call you?
I'm gonna really swing it because like I've been being nice and I've been trying to.
You don't have to be nice.
But, like,
Did I not call you this morning? Tony, did I not call you? Said I call you 30 minutes.
But you know you bullshitting too, right?
I'm not bullshit.
Because the fact of the matter is that you know that Cesar been doing bad business. And you just right now really trying to distance yourself because you don't want to be implicated with it. You know that he's been fucking people over. He fucked you over. He owes you money. You told me last night he owes you money. Like, this ain't me making up shit. This ain't me just coming out and attacking anybody. This is real people. And it's like even like your man, the credit dude, that was a part of y'all whole situation, bro. He's out of 150,000. And nigga was out here talking about committing suicide. See, you can't play me like I'm the nigga that's just clout chasing or doing some bullshit. I'm really talking about people. Credit dude called me talking about he's in fear of his life. Like he's like, yo, I'm in fear of my life, and these niggas took my money. I got 7 or 8 DMs of people that's $400,000 or $500,000, bro. Last night on the phone, you told me, yo, this nigga owe me over $500,000. Don't do me now. You're gonna try to get online and make me look like shit because then I'm gonna come back with smoke.
And this is the thing. You could come back with whatever you want.
I'm gonna come back with the smoke.
I just got off the phone with credit dude. I just got off the phone with credit dude, and credit dude told me that you were making things up. I just got off the phone with credit dude, and you said it's making things up. I just got off the phone with him. So obviously you are clout chasing because the main thing that you did was fucked up is you added my name, and that's what you did. You added my name.
Because that's what it was. He owe you money.
I did the real thing, and I came on here and spoke to you like a man. I didn't talk behind your back, and that's what real niggas do. When we have a conversation or disagreement, we have a conversation. All that other shit is out the window. And I'm trying to get Cesar on the phone because I called you earlier, and I tried to get him on the phone with you. I didn't try to call you earlier when you said, "Yo, call me back in 30 minutes." And when you call me back, I tried to call him.
Didn't you talk to me since then?
And didn't I try to call him with you on the phone? Did I try to call
him
on the phone? Answer yes or no.
Don't act like I ducked your phone call, my nigga.
You full of shit.
Yes or no? Did you say that the nigga owe you money?
You full of shit. I tried to be a real nigga and talk to you.
Did you
yes or no say that nigga
owe you money?
I salute you. I hope you get that nigga on the phone, and I hope y'all clear it up. And anybody, if he does owe you money, I hope that y'all get it, and I hope y'all get it straight.
I'm gonna do my best
to make sure that if there is a problem issue, even though I'm not involved,
hey, you manipulate right now, bro. Like you trying to dismiss yourself from the shit that you got going on.
Love you, brother. I love you, brother. Peace.
How you distance yourself when you the only reason that this nigga know who you are? We only know Flippin' and Jake based off him.
Wow.
Tony is always this petty because you niggas are sitting back and okay with a nigga stealing millions of dollars from his community and saying that he's doing it for the community. See, the exact same shit that DJ Envy said he was against when he said that, hey, I'm against the gurus who are coming out here and taking advantage of people and selling their courses and programs for hundreds of thousands of dollars. He came out and did the exact same shit. He came out and did the exact same shit. So how do you say, hey, look, I'm against all these niggas that's doing this, and now you and your man got all these people that's missing money? Like real shit. Like, look at this shit. We got real motherfuckers. Where's this at?
Did he end up coming back? Hold on one second. I feel like he ended up coming. I don't know if that's. All right. Well, let's move on. If there's a part 2 to it, we'll finish it up. But I think that might have been the end of the conversation, because this might be the edited version of that. Because yeah, this is a more edited version. We'll look at that maybe tomorrow. Let's just get into this last video real quick, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. So if you will be all the way caught up on this matter, including the fact that Cesar got arrested on the 18th. So he was in federal custody, and he got a bond. He was able to bond out on $1 million. Okay.
Exclusive investigation involving a real estate deal and one of the most recognizable voices in radio. Investors in a real estate venture say they were swindled out of millions of dollars. And they argue syndicated radio rapper Rashawn Casey, better known as DJ Envy from the show The Breakfast Club, promoted these deals. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace talked to the alleged victims and has the response to those mounting accusations you're about to hear for the first time.
Leah, let's talk about DJ Envy real quick before we move into this video. The fact that he can't hold his composure and have a conversation, like do the tough, there's something about having like the tough conversations when things aren't going your way. It's just kind of a lack of maturity. And at the end of the day, you chose to go on a live stream with a YouTuber or social media influencer who is, who basically shines a light on scams and real estate scams and things of that nature. You knew what you were like clicking the live stream in, you knew what you were opting in for. Let me say it like that. The fact that you can't sit there and complete the conversation without losing it and hanging up is just so immature. And the fact that you've made millions of dollars, there are people who have lost their life savings because they invested on the strength of they thought that they were dealing with someone who helped you get rich. I mean, even if it's not your company with Cesar, but there are people who are signing up on the strength of, and we see this a lot on the internet. Do we not see this on YouTube? People taking classes from people taking advice from people, even when it might be shitty advice, just on the strength that they like their videos, just on the strength that they've been watching their channel for years, and they sign up and they buy into this individual as some sort of an expert because they have a following, and also they may have a nice car. Hello, you know what I'm saying? And DJ Envy is not wanting to agree that his presence lends to the influence of this guy. And at the end of the day, this guy wasn't arrested 2 days ago just because the feds have nothing better to do. He was arrested because they have credible evidence to support that there's a problem, right?
We've helped so many people, not just regular people, but celebrities,
athletes, executives.
That's DJ Envy on his syndicated iHeart radio show, The Breakfast Club. He's often promoted the real estate venture of his pal, Cesar Pina.
You might know him on Instagram as Flippin' NJ.
But it's more than just a passing endorsement.
You can partner with us on some deals, make some money with us.
Envy and Cesar have teamed up for seminars, including one at the Jacob Javits Convention Center, pitching opportunities to flip properties, often in distressed areas of New Jersey.
We invested $200,000 and looks like we're never going to get it back.
Jose Santiago and his wife, Jessica Ortiz, say they believed investing in this neighborhood of Patterson would be their ticket to the American dream.
That's the reason why I got into real estate, so we can actually start flipping properties, buying properties, so we can have something for our kids in the future.
The couple says they connected with entrepreneur Cesar after seeing him on social media with DJ Envy.
He's advertising this all over the radio and on television. I've seen shows of him all over the place, so I thought this was legit.
The pitch to invest in rundown properties that would be renovated and flipped for more money. The promise to return up to 30%. In some cases, Cesar didn't even own the properties. This couple took out $200,000 in equity from their Florida home, promised that 30% return within 4 months. Then they say nothing.
I'm paying the interest right now every month, and I have nothing.
Well, at this point, we just want our money back.
Nigel Chamblin says he was conned by Cesar into investing $235,000 in that same Patterson property, along with two others, $300,000 each for homes in Hawthorne and in Maplewood.
$835,000 in total on all three houses. There were other people investing in the exact same properties. It was a scam. It was a lie.
So that's 4 people right there. And I think there were even more than that who are thinking that they are investing direct as like a one-on-one kind of deal with Cesar or Cesar's company. But little do they know he has multiple investors all basically getting the same deal on the same house that is not valued, that is way overvalued, and that he's accepting way more money than the house would have ever sold for, and nobody's getting a return on their capital.
Augie Rios owns a custom auto wrap shop in Lodi, who says he worked on Envy's cars for years and believed his pitch. He did get back a return on an initial investment with Cesar, but maintains a second investment on this Patterson property went south.
If it wasn't for DJ Envy, I would have never invested into Cesar. I lost a total of $64,000.
After receiving 2 bounced checks, Rios says he got a visit from Cesar carrying this box of jewelry.
He said, take this jewelry until I can pay you back.
How much did he say this was worth?
15, 20 grand.
Then there's record producer Anthony Martini, who invested in what he thought was a promising apartment project in Patterson.
I lost $1 million.
And you went in because of DJ Envy.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I'd known Envy for years.
Martini's attorney has filed a lawsuit.
It's some sort of Ponzi-like scheme where he's taking money from one investor to pay off other investors. You're looking at over $40 million invested with the Pinas in their companies.
Breaking news here on Tony the Closer's Live.
The complaint floodgates opened up when alleged victims started appearing on the social media platform of influencer Tony the Closer, a self-proclaimed real estate scam watchdog.
I decided to make it where everybody would know the disgusting behavior that they're practicing.
Dozens of lawsuits have now been filed against Cesar and his wife. Several also name Envy, who has sued Tony the Closer for defamation after also going on with him live.
And there's nobody in here that could ever say Envy, they gave Envy $1.
Envy, whose real name is Rashawn Casey, declined to talk to the I-Team, referring us to a powerful Manhattan real estate attorney. He says the radio personality lost $500,000 to the Pinas in an investment deal to transform this vacant school building in Patterson into rental units.
He is a victim, just like the other alleged victims are in connection with the scam.
Why, if he's a victim, hasn't he filed a lawsuit against the Pinas?
He has a legal right to file whenever he deems fit. He is now contending with cases that are being filed every day improperly against him.
But let me just say this. he said that he's made money, right? So if he's made money, why isn't it, and I'm just throwing this out there and I don't know that this is true or not true. I just had an idea, a thought ran through my head. How about if, let's just say this is part of their deal. Let's just keep something on the books that always looks like I'm losing money, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just because you've made money on 10 deals and you're losing money continually on one deal, like, did you really lose money? Like, maybe you haven't got paid on it yet. Maybe it does look like a loser deal, but that's also a very convenient thing to be able to say that you're always losing money versus when you openly admitted that you've made money on deals with him and you continued to make deals and you've continued to make money, and then there's always this one property that you just never made money on, and maybe because of the time and COVID and all of those things, it just wasn't the right time to renovate that property. But at the end of the day, as long as the property sits there, it does gain value. So it's not necessarily like a loser investment. As long as the building is still there and it's still sound, that's not really a net loss to me. But I think it's also helpful to be able to say that you're 2 years in and a project has never flipped, because you've got the gravy train lineup of people who are now saying that they've lost. And it's easy to say, well, I haven't made money on this or that. I think it's going to be very hard for people to accept that you've lost money when you're continuing to do well. And you also say that you've made money on other deals. If you were to size up all of your deals, the $500,000, were you able to make more than $500,000 sum in total out of all of your deals and the portfolio that you've had with this guy? Because if that's the case, you really haven't lost money yet. You just really haven't lost money yet, and he hasn't ripped you off. So how are they saying he's a victim? I just don't see it. But maybe I'm wrong.
Why not come out on his radio show and warn other alleged victims if he feels that he was?
It's an ongoing, they're ongoing litigations, and there's no room for them on, any sort of radio show.
A lot of people say they bought in because of Envy's reputation. Does he not have some responsibility?
Absolutely not. The only reason why Envy is sued is to sensationalize the case.
The attorney is seeking dismissals of all the lawsuits. As for the Pinas, we caught up with Cesar's wife, Jennifer, in Bergen County. Do you have anything to say to the alleged victims?
I say, just hold tight and we're going to come through.
Where's the...
I love her New Jersey hair. I'm just joking. She's so Jersey, and they're from Bergen County. That's so funny. And as she's interviewing about other people's money, and she has on a Chanel sweater, it's either sweater or sweatshirt, but I mean, that could quite easily be a $1,400 top. Just easily be a $1,400 top. And I just think that it's absolutely unconscionable that you are being interviewed about scamming and taking people's money, and you are wearing very expensive clothes. Like, it's almost like obnoxiously expensive, because at the end of the day, she could have worn anything. And then she's going to say, that's a Cesar question. Like, why are you even taking an interview?
The money.
Listen, that's a Cesar answer for you. I can't give you that answer. He wants to be here with you. He wants to do the sit down. He wants to have this interview. He wants to clear the air. He wants to explain his side, and he wants people to understand
Why did you answer the door, ma'am?
what's going on. But, he's been advised to not talk.
There may
He's
be
been
some
advised to
hope
not
for
talk.
investors. A judge has appointed a bankruptcy court trustee to oversee some of the Pina's properties. Any available assets could eventually be sold off to pay alleged victims. From Patterson, Sarah Wallace, News 4 New York.
Okay. All right, guys. A lot, right? This is a very hot topic. This is what's going on right now. It's a lot. But a lot of these scams being called out are a good thing because people need to know there's people out here, contrary to what people think, that no one has any money. I don't believe that. I think, contrary to popular opinion, there are people out here that do have a couple of coins, and some people are looking for opportunities to do something and trying to figure out what to do with their money. And you have to be smart when investing. And I would say slow and steady wins the race. And any kind of quick get rich scheme is not going to work for you. Real estate is a great thing to get into, but you have to kind of go the conventional route and not necessarily look for fast flips and things like that, because that's not always going to work for you. You could get stuck with a bad house. You could get stuck over your head in terms of thinking that things were going to be a lot easier. Just because you easily bought it doesn't mean that you're easily going to sell it. It doesn't always work that way. And you have to be really smart and prudent with your money because um there's just many different things you can invest in that will give you a return, and your money will be safe. If you're not in a position to lose it, do not invest in things that appear to be a gamble. That's going to be my best advice. Anyway, this was really interesting. I'm glad we had a chance to talk about it and get caught up on it. Um, so let me see what else you guys are saying before we go. During the pandemic, this was rampant. Absolutely. Because, people had extra money. They were getting, some people got PPPs. Some people were getting all kinds of unemployment. Some people, there was just a lot. People had a little bit of extra coin. And some people didn't have extra coin. But the people that did wanted to, and rightfully so, people may not want to have money on hand and think that, what, let me invest it in something because I'd like for my money to work for me a little bit better than maybe just sitting in a traditional savings account. And if you go to go to your bank, talk to a financial planner, talk to people who you can trust, um, do your research into investments that sound good to you, maybe long-term investment into the stock market, buying yourself an IRA, investing in a money market at your bank. Those are some safer investments than giving it to a guy named Flippin' NJ. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. And this was really fun. I'm glad we had a chance to have this conversation tonight. And I guess we're going to just leave this right there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be here and I'll be over at Real Talk Bougie at some point. So you guys, if you're on the replay, thank you for coming through. Make sure to hit the like button for me. And share this out. And I think that's it. So I hope that you guys have a good night. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I am fading fast. I'm so sleepy. Anyway, guys, I think you guys are awesome. Take care. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you guys next time.